Have you ever wondered why your lo-fi mix sounds muddy or unbalanced, even when your EQ looks perfect? The issue might not be your sound choice, it might be your space. In today's episode, we're breaking down how mono and stereo mixing can completely change the vibe and clarity of your beats.
You're listening to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. Today we're tackling a topic that's often overlooked, but it massively impacts the vibe of your tracks and the way they sound, and that's mono versus stereo. And where does lo-fi truly live best in between that? If you've ever wondered why some lo-fi beats feel cozy, centered and intimate, while others feel lush, wide and immersive, this episode's for you, so let's get into it. First, let's start simple. Mono means one channel of sound. Everything is coming from one single source, right down the middle. Stereo, on the other hand, uses two channels, left and right, giving you that sense of width and space and dimension. In most modern music, stereo is the default, but in lo-fi, mono still plays a huge role. If you think about it, those old jazz records, or those tape machines and radio broadcasts, many of those were recorded in mono, and that's why part of the reason lo-fi producers still love it. It adds that vintage, focused, almost nostalgic feel. So when people say lo-fi lives in the middle, they're kind of not really wrong. When you mix in mono, or partially in mono, your track instantly feels more centered and cohesive. Imagine this, you've got a piano sample playing, just softly with some dusty drums and a smooth bass line. If everything is wide and floating across the whole stereo field, you might lose that intimate sound. But pull it all into mono and suddenly it feels like it's coming from an old radio or an old tape deck machine. And that's the lo-fi magic. Mono mixing works especially well for bass lines. It will help keep them solid and grounded. Your kicks and snares will stay punchy and focused. And central melodic elements like pianos or guitars, if you want that vintage kind of living room sound. And here's a pro tip, try listening to your mix just every so often in mono. It helps you balance your elements better and make sure nothing disappears when playing on smaller devices, especially like phone speakers or Bluetooth players. And let's be real, most people are listening on those devices these days. Now, it doesn't mean that stereo doesn't belong in lo-fi. It's quite the opposite. Stereo gives you that dreamy, atmospheric side of lo-fi. When used correctly, it makes your mix feel alive, with each sound living in its own space. If you think of pads or ambient texture spread wide across the whole stereo field, or your chorus of reverb effects that spread into both speakers, your hi-hats or shakers pan slightly off-centre just for some subtle movement. Now, these stereo elements help create a sonic environment around your core groove. You want the listener to feel like they're inside the beat, sitting in that cosy coffee shop with the rain tapping on the window outside. And remember, pro tip, use stereo selectively. If everything is wide, your mix starts to lose focus. But if you keep some elements in mono, like your kick, bass, and maybe a lead instrument, the stereo elements then begin to pop out more naturally. Now here's a simple way to think about it. Mono, well, it's your foundation, and stereo is your flavour. You start your mix in mono and balance your levels, your EQ and compression, all while everything is centred. Then switch to stereo and start panning and widening. And a few quick tips. Keep your kick, snare and bass and the main melody all in mono, and then use stereo effects like chorus, delay and reverb for the ambience and the character. You could add a stereo width plugin, but use these sparingly, and you could use a tool like Ozone Imager by iZotope, and that can add space without muddying up the mix. And always check your mix in mono before exporting. There are some stereo effects that can cause phase issues, and that makes elements vanish in and out, especially when you're playing them back on mono. And a pro tip, try the mid-side approach, process the middle, the mono, and the sides separately. Add warmth to the mids and then sparkle to the sides for that polished, cosy lo-fi finish. Now let's imagine a lo-fi beat. You've got a soft piano loop and you're keeping it in mono. Then add a stereo pad or some vinyl texture that fills out the sides. Your drums stay centered with maybe a few percussive hits, slightly panned left and right. And finally, add some reverb and ambient effects in stereo to wrap everything together. This balance keeps your mix warm yet open, nostalgic and also not flat. And if you want to go one step further, add some tape machines or analog gear that naturally blend mono and stereo beautifully. Plugins like RC20 Retro Color, Sketch Cassette or Tape Cassette 2, they're all perfect for that kind of vibe. So where does lo-fi live best, mono or stereo? The truth is it's somewhere right in between. Lo-fi thrives in balance between simplicity and space. Mono gives that focused, nostalgic charm, while stereo brings to life with emotion and dimension and width. The key is to use both intentionally. If you want your track to feel intimate, start in mono, and if you want it to breathe and expand, open up, always start with stereo ambience. It's not about choosing sides, it's about finding that sweet spot in between that suits you and the vibe. Now that's it for today's episode of the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.